Blumpkin&Friends, starring your host, the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
Hey kids, I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin. And with me here today is my friend,
Other Neil.
Yay! I want you to think back to how much you like boobs. Guys like boobs, we all like boobs. But I've never really been like a boob guy. The rest of this episode will make me sound like I love tits. And don't get me wrong, I love tits, but at a very young age, I got over tits.
Really?
Yeah, because I wanted to see vaginas more.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, some guys are like, I'm a butt guy, I'm a leg guy, I like boobs, and I'm just like, I'm a vagina guy. Show me your vagina. I like to look at vaginas. I could look at an 8,000-page photo album of different vaginas.
Really?
And I wouldn't be like doing it to jerk off or to sexually gratify myself.
Right, just as a casual observer.
Just like,
appreciation.
I look at vaginas the same way that most people look at paintings. But the same can be said for tits. And there's one thing now that we're both at least 35 or older,
Word.
I want you to think about this. Kids these days don't know how good they got it.
No, I believe we had a conversation about this. And I was actually going to go back to kind of say my experience with boobs and if I was a boob guy or not here. So growing up in the 80s, I am dating myself on how old I am, we didn't have access to a lot of porn. There wasn't an internet where you could just type in something and just instantly see it. It was very mysterious. There was a lot of mystique around it. And most of the time back then, all you could get your hands on was like a Playboy. And they didn't really show the vag. You know, you could see like a landing strip, you could see some hair, but you would never actually see the vagina. And so I think that is why, as a kid, I think boobs were a little bit more of a fascination because they were something obviously female. You know what I mean? There was obviously a womanly quality where in vaginas you just wouldn't see. So the fact that you could possibly see boobs in a movie or anything like that, I think that's why I had a little bit more of a fascination with boobs growing up and a little bit more of appreciation.
Well, yeah, because they weren't all over the place. If your dad didn't have a stack of nudie magazines stashed that you knew where to get them, or your friend did, or if you didn't have some old VHS pornography around, or if you, like me, had Skinamax and you could only watch it when your dad fell asleep on the floor next to you and hope that he wouldn't wake up before you would get to see the boobs.
Right on, yep.
You couldn't go to school and just be like, hey, I'd really like to see your boobs. Because first off, you're going to get called down to the principal's office for being a pervert, which is really not fucking fair.
You're just curious at that age.
I like to appreciate boobs. But kids these days, and it's not just that they have the internet. Every phone almost, except for like mine, is a fucking computer.
Yes.
These assholes. You have the internet in the palm of your hand. I just brought up Google. I'm going to Google boobs. All right? And it says about 500 million results in 0.27 seconds. So in 27/10 of a second, there were 500 million articles about boobs. And if we go to an image search, oh, look at that. It's mainly clothed boobs.
Right, but
we're looking at boobs. Look at that big black chick's boobs. God, those are bad. That they blurred those nipples. There's the cat daddy girl. I can't remember her name. Kate Upton. Yep, that's her. Yep. There's some
See,
boobs.
but that's what I mean. This right here, it's some woman who looks like she's giving herself a breast exam. I don't know.
She's making a heart around her
even
boobs.
So, like these images are 1,000 times racier than anything I had access to that wasn't, like you said, a porn stash or, you know, Cinemax late at night or something like that.
There's a guy pushing his man boobs together.
Yeah, he's got hairy cleavage. That is...
There's Rihanna in a dress. She's very frumpy. They're pushed up.
I was going to say, I didn't think she had that big of boobs.
She probably really doesn't. There's one of the Kardashians. I think that's Kylie.
Oh, yeah.
But seriously, these fucking kids today... The internet is a veritable boob smorgasbord.
Right. And I think you can even see boobs on YouTube. I mean, there's just so much more access.
Yeah, and watch what happens when I just add any one word. Okay, so right now we got boobs. I push space. Boobs after breastfeeding. Boobs hurt before period. Boobs itchy. What? Boobs sore for a week. You're pregnant.
This
boobs
is not
sore.
very sexy.
Boobs hurt really bad. Boobs sore after period. Boobs hurt
ovulation.
during period.
Wow.
Before and after breastfeeding. Now watch what happens when I type in this. I just type in a color. We'll go black. And boobs. And 22.9 million results in 42 hundredths of a second. And the first thing is black boobs videos on xvideos.com. But I don't need your videos.
Got this nice little image.
Wow, look at these. Look at all these black boobs.
Jesus.
I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's just the lighting. I'm sorry. I thought she had vitiligo. Look at that. What the fuck is that?
That's just a lot of curves.
God, that's not even curves. This woman is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Lady.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
They almost don't even have nipples. It looks like you overfilled a water balloon and the actual nipple on the balloon's about to pop.
Right.
But just think of these things. When I was a kid, I didn't know about like wet boobs. I didn't think about different colored boobs. I didn't know about fake boobs.
Right.
I didn't know about tit bondage. Definitely didn't know about titty fucking.
Oh, yeah. No.
You didn't know about, cum on tits.
All these things that these kids growing up now see on the internet and they think, oh, that's how sex is. That's what I'm supposed to do. And it's like, no, I mean, we never saw that. We had to kind of figure this stuff out on our own or watch porn when we were adults.
Yeah. Fucking assholes.
Right. Speaking of wet boobs, there's a couple of them that are pretty shiny there.
Those are, look at these. She just recently greased those titties up. So she's baby oiling her titties. And what's going on here? Nice little landing strip.
Well, there's your bondage you were talking about, how she had them all roped up.
Oh, that's not like true tit bondage.
Oh, no, not where it's actually like discolored because the circulation's being cut off and stuff, yeah.
That's a she-male who's jerking off.
What the hell is that? They look like they're fake, but they're like terrible.
No, those are just gross.
Yeah.
When you Google black boobs, like there's another fucking she-male. Why do I want to see a black dick right below a set of tits?
Why wouldn't you just, why wouldn't you just want to see that? One thing I have noticed, so interesting that you brought up fake boobs. That is one realm where they look better in the wrapper than they do out of the wrapper. You know what I mean? Like the curve, the attraction there is all pre-unwrapping, because I've seen fake boobs up close. I've also seen a bunch of them obviously via the internet, and they almost always have scars or scars around the nipples. Or
that's a terrible way to get your tits done, is to have the nipple cut
I know
off,
they can go in through the
stuff it in there
armpit, or they can go underneath I think it's like through the side, up underneath and all that. I know there's different ways of doing it.
It's stupid is what it is.
Oh, I agree.
Just deal with your no tits.
There's there's been a few gals over the years that I've dated that go, oh, I want to get a boob job. I want to, do this. And it's like, why? You're fine. You have B's, large B's, or you have C's. Well, I just want them a little bigger and that. It's like, okay, what kind of attention then are you looking for? Because, if you want somebody to value you who you are, your personality, all this other stuff, but yet you want to put this foot forward by giving yourself fake boobs and being that the attention getter, I don't know. It just seems kind of counterproductive.
I agree with you. Speaking of dumb chicks that want fake tits, for years the Beast was talking about getting fake tits, and I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
Right. What's
the point? And I stopped short of going, look at the rest of your package. You wouldn't put a fucking Ferrari engine in a goddamn golf cart, would you?
Why not?
No. She's got to worry about bigger things, like slimming down her waist and fixing that pussy dryness.
Yeah.
Never in my life have I known another girl that relied so much upon lube.
Really?
Yeah. She's big on
like,
lube.
From the get-go? Like, not even starting out you can have moisture?
She can start off, but it doesn't last very long. And then she even had to ask her doctor, who said, well, maybe he's just not giving you enough foreplay. And I want to be like, maybe because you smoke and you drink and you're bitch, this is just your vagina's way of reflecting your personality.
Yeah, I like that theory.
It matches, like the
Seems
nipples
reasonable.
match the vagina meat.
Yep.
Your personality matches your vagina.
That's a unique angle. My current girlfriend, she has mentioned things a few times about getting implants, or she would if she had the money or the funds. And it's like, but yours are amazing now. You know, I mean, she has perfect boobs. To me, it would almost just ruin them.
Yeah, you worry about the scars. The Dirty Bee has a coworker that got fake boobs, and she was in so much pain for so long. I don't know why you do that to yourself. And then I've heard that it looks like they're still riding kind of high because they settle some, but there's not like a determined amount of time to which they start to settle and naturalize more than looking more shelfy on top.
Right.
And I haven't seen them, unfortunately. Everybody else has, I guess. So I can't judge. But still, don't do that to yours. That's stupid. And now, Jeremy Irons raps.
She can't fit 'em in Victoria's Secret. 'Cause baby is an H, so her cups are the deepest. If you with your girl, and she walk by, can't act like you don't see shit. Not only you, but your lady gonna ask. Yo, can I peep it?
That was Jeremy Irons raps.
You're listening to Blumpkin&Friends.
In terms of, like I said, how you see boobs now versus how you saw boobs 20 years ago. I'm going to give you one example with the smartphones and the apps.
The Beast
and her friends via Snapchat.
Right.
Kids today, they can snap naughty pictures and sext each other left and right, and we didn't have that fucking option. But
The Beast
and her friends at work, they had Titty Tuesday. Titty Tuesday, they would take turns sending photos of each other's boobs back and forth, but I don't have a smartphone, so I couldn't get into the action. So I, being a flip phone guy, have missed out on Titty Tuesday. Plus, even if I wanted to get involved, most of the chicks flashing their tits are between the ages of 20 and 23.
Yeah.
And if a 35-year-old man asks you, hey, can I see your boobs? It's going to come across as a little creepy, I think. The other facet is not just the fact that you can get on your computer, but you really had to work to see a girl's tits.
Oh, sure. I don't want to say girls were more conservative when I was growing up.
They weren't.
You don't think so?
No. No, you just got to find the right chick that's willing to flash some tots.
Right, but I just feel like it's with internet fame and everybody wanting their 5-10 seconds or, wanting the wrong kind of attention. I feel like girls might be a little looser with the tops nowadays versus when I was growing up.
Well, it was going on, but we just weren't down at spring break.
Yeah, good call.
Right? And what's spring break? Like
an orgy.
Fucking tit buffet.
Yeah.
Tits everywhere. And if you go to Mardi Gras, you throw plastic necklaces at women who flash their breasts. When you're younger, you're thinking, God, I got to wait until the right moment to ask her if I can play with him or see him or something.
Yeah.
You had to work for it. And these days, any 18-year-old kid knows from the internet or from magazines.
Just go to Party City and buy a bag of beads or something like that.
You don't even have to go to spring break.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, I got beads. We're having a fucking Mardi Gras party at my house. Flash some titties.
Yeah, years ago, after I'd left Menards, you remember and
Yep.
They had a place up 65, and they had a huge party out there, and they basically had a stage where they were having like wet t-shirt contests and things like that. And yeah, I just remember going, where was this when I was in high school or graduating high school?
Nobody did that shit.
Yeah, it just didn't happen.
Plus, I went to private school, so the parties that were going on, I wasn't invited to because I didn't play sports enough.
Yeah.
I wasn't popular enough to go to these parties. Speaking of Menards people, I got invited to go to the Apple River once by a bunch of the Blaine crew.
Yep.
And I slept in instead of waking up early to drive out there. So I got a phone call like, where are you? We're going to go to the river soon. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to come back. You have to come. It was a big stupid ordeal while I drove out there and I couldn't find anybody.
Was I there? I might have been there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then my girlfriend at the time saved me by coming out and then we went down the river.
Oh, okay.
And then I saw some tits. But apparently, a bunch of people that we worked with were just hauling them out.
I must not have been there.
Titties
I
everywhere.
Yeah.
Titties everywhere. And like ones I wanted to see too. So I like, fuck off.
Right? Ones you'd pictured and thought about, and yeah.
So that's an adult versus like teenager comparison, because when you're a teenager, you're in school, you're working to get to see your girlfriend's tits or any girl's tits. But as an adult, you can go on vacation and see tits. You can just go someplace across the state border on the lazy drunken river and see tons of tits.
Right.
Or the strip club and see tits.
I was going to ask you about that. So that's kind of where I was going next is first time ever going to a strip club and ever getting a lap dance. I always thought it was kind of an odd thing that I will pay a woman money to basically sit on my lap, rub her boobs in my face, but I can't touch them. I can't do anything, and then I have to go on my merry way. You know, it just seemed...
It's a fucking tease is what it is.
Bogus.
And that's why I've never gone to one of those things.
Yeah.
I say, why would I pay money
right
to be teased and look at something I want to touch that I can't, but I can just go home and either play with tits...
Right.
Or look at a bunch of tits on the internet and then pound one out, and then I get to be satisfied instead of sexually frustrated.
Exactly. You don't have to think back to those moments of when you were in the strip club. You can have instant gratification via the internet.
Or those idiots that'll pay a boatload of money to get dry humped.
Yes.
Basically. Who wants to jizz their pants? Is having jizz on you an exciting feeling? Or is it a gross feeling? Think about it.
Disgusting.
Yeah, and then it's inside your pants, so you're stuck with it. So what do you do?
Right.
You go to the bathroom and you towel off? No, because there's still jizz slime on the inside of your undies.
Right. Your pants are going to be wet for a long time.
Fucking ridiculous.
It's time for another good idea, bad idea with Jessie the Body. Good idea. Complimenting your coworker on her new haircut. Bad idea. Complimenting your coworker on her new rack. Good morning, Susan. I heard you got your boobs done, and I see that you did in fact get an enlargement, and I would like to tell you right now that they look awesome. I would totally just... I want to put my face in there and motorboat the shit out of those. Before, you might have been flat as a checkerboard while wearing a flannel shirt, but now, I want to attack them.
2 hours later.
Mr. Ventura, HR would like to talk to you.
Ah, fuck. Good idea. Showing people pictures of your grandchildren. Bad idea. Showing people pictures of your dick. What do you think? This is the left profile, and I'm half erect. It's not totally where it's going, and it's kind of a grower, not a shower, but, I mean, what do you think, huh? You think that's a birthmark, or should I maybe go get that checked out?
You're listening to Blumpkin&Friends.
I've always said that seeing new boobs is exciting. Right? The first time you get to see a girl's tits. And there's some girls where they took their bra off and they pulled their tits and they wanted to go right back to kissing. I'm like, wait. And they're like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. But I only get to see your tits for the first time once.
Right.
And I just want to take a second to just... I actually used that line on multiple people.
Yeah.
Because I was like, just let me take a second to look at him. And 2 of them were cool with him. One of them got self-conscious.
Really?
I was like, stop it. I'm not... There's nothing wrong with your beautiful caramel-colored tits.
Right. See, I was going to say, you could work that into a compliment right away.
But instead of just like it being exciting, the other day, the baby, we were giving her some new foods. And she was like so excited. And there was all these different facial expressions. And I thought back to when I was a kid, like the first time you ever get to try certain things like pizza or ice cream or lasagna. Seeing new boobs, for me, is like a kid trying new foods for the first time. There's just this sense of wonder and amazement around it. Like,
I was going to say, I akin it to Christmas and unwrapping that gift. You have no idea what you're going to get. You have a general idea, but opening it up for the first time and like, ooh. Goody.
Yeah, some boobs are like opening up that Super Nintendo I already knew I was going to get.
Right.
But I was still super
still
excited.
Amazed. Yep,
yeah.
Yep. And then other ones are you're expecting something cool and you open it up and it's like
socks.
Yes, yeah, a sweater. And you're just like, oh, and you kind of have to fake like they're great.
Oh yeah, I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
Especially if they have like a weird birthmark on them.
Yeah, or a big mole. I've seen ones with like a big mole.
What?
Yeah, it was probably about the size of a quarter.
Oh.
Just on the left side of the boob.
Oh.
Right? You know, kind of, yeah, right on the curve. And I thought, it's funny because my first thought when I saw that, I was going, you should have that checked for cancer later in your life.
It's a very adult thing to say.
I don't know why. I was so clinical at the time, but I was.
Was it hairy?
It was really dark brown, like almost to the point where you would think it would like start turning colors, which I've always heard is bad for melanomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, conversely, well, seeing new boobs for guys is exciting. I imagine that seeing new dicks for chicks is not at all exciting.
Well,
because boobs can be beautiful, but dicks I wouldn't say are pretty.
No, and dicks can be kind of horrifying looking when you really take in the full scope of what you're looking at.
Yeah, it's a widely held opinion that the male sex organ is gross, whereas like the vagina can be glorious.
Right.
Or it can look like a fucking roast beef sandwich, or it could look like it has velvety curtains like the Muppet Show.
Yes. I think we had talked about John Leguizamo's comedy act from the late 90s and where he used a reference to curtains.
Oh, he talked about, was it a prostitute?
Yes, one of his first times he ever had sex was with a prostitute.
And she had just big, giant, saggy pussy lips from getting beat up all the time down there. And she came in and she made a man of him, and then when it was over, she grabbed a labia in each hand and started to flap, and she flew away, and he thought, goodbye, Mothra.
Yep. One of the best lines ever.
Oh, yeah. Because you think of boobs, there's multiple facets of ways of gauging how great they are. The nipples.
Yep.
If they're veiny. The dangle.
Right.
The volume.
Mm-hmm. The perkiness, the firmness.
If there's hair on the nipple.
Right.
I've only seen that once, but it was trimmed, and I was very up close when I noticed that she had nipple stubble. A few of them.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not a good look. I would be very self-conscious if I was any girl that had nipple hair, because that's fucking disgusting.
One of the first nipples I ever licked, and this was interesting because this only happened once, so it made me wonder if it was legit or not, but one of the very first nipples I ever licked, or I sucked on, besides mom's,
right.
There was like a grain of salt, or like it maybe had discharged a little bit of something, and it was like a slight salty taste to it. I don't know if she'd been working out, sweating. I never really asked because I felt she would be self-conscious.
Right.
But yeah, that was unique. And now that we're kind of going through our history of boobs, I just remember that one now.
What if it was deodorant? It's possible.
It didn't taste like Secret.
Okay, bra lint?
Could have been.
Perhaps.
Could have been eating French fries earlier and salt fell down the cleavage. I don't know.
That's pretty bad. I mean, they joke about your boobs being like the natural bib on large-chested women.
Right.
But, yeah, if you got food crumbs down in your bra, that's not sexy unless you're a fat man.
You find that attractive in a fat man?
No, I'm saying if I was a fat dude,
okay,
you obviously love food, and then you pull a girl's bra off and there's food crumbs on her tits.
Oh,
that's combining two of your favorite things.
I got what you're saying now. I thought you say it was only attractive on a fat man.
No.
Meaning if you had a fat dude, you took his shirt off and there was food in his boobs, you'd be turned on.
Well, I don't think I would ever want to see a fat man's tits that close where he's wearing a bra.
Yep.
Because clearly my life would have gone completely off the rails at that point, and I'm probably behind bars, and I'm about to do something I'm not very proud of, but you know, you got to find a way to earn canteen in the slammer.
Right. And, you know, prison's prison. It's not like the outside world. So.
And if a fat, hairy man wants you to titty fuck him and to get you a couple instant cup of noodles, yeah, a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Man's got to eat.
Oh, it's a good Randy quote.
Yes. Yes, it is. It's funny, too. I was thinking about boob sweat.
Go on.
There are some girls I've known that have had, like, almost problems with it. Like
swoobs.
Yes, like constant swoob.
Summertime for large-chested girls or chubby girls, yeah. Sometimes the wife will come home from work and I want to touch her boob. She's like, they're sweaty. I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, there's a little, you know what, fucking, I'm already there.
Right,
I'll
just spread the sweat or
just
dry them
smear
off.
It around.
Yep.
If we spread it or smear it, it's kind of like cake frosting. We got to get an even coverage here.
Right, and it'll evaporate faster. And
right, definitely.
Yeah. You're doing them a favor is what you're doing.
Definitely. And now, story time. Since I have all daughters, like today, Chi-Chi was running around and I've called her this before. I'm like, hey, Boobarella, put a shirt on. Hide your shame.
Right?
Because she has no boobs, but then she still acts like she has boobs. She knows she's going to get boobs. It's almost like she can't wait to have boobs. I'd hate to think that in like 10 years, I'm going to walk into a room and she's sitting in the mirror just fucking massaging them and tweaking her nipples and playing with her own tits.
Yeah, that's not a visual you want to actually.
No, because I'm going to bring it up at her goddamn graduation party.
Or first boyfriend.
No. So with Boobarella here, I was giving them a bath. And out of the blue, she's like, to the Jew, she's like, how come her boobs are smaller than mine? I have bigger boobs than her. You don't. You're both flat-chested. Right. She's taller, so, I mean, she's filling out, and it's stretching all of her skin. You're going to get taller, and then you're going to have smaller boobs. My boobs are going to be tiny? Like, statistically speaking, looking at your mom, probably not. You're both going to be all right in that department. But I probably wouldn't worry about it because you're 4 fucking years old.
Right. I was just going to say, how in-depth of an explanation are you going to go into at this point to her?
Jesus Christ. So we've reached the portion of the show when it's time to play a game.
It's time to play bullshit trivia on Blumpkin&Friends.
And I don't want you to try to read through the card. I invented a new game a few episodes ago. It's called BS Trivia.
Mm-hmm.
It's 10 questions. It could be anything.
Okay.
There could be an answer. There could not be an answer. I might just be trying to see what you say, and I'll give you a point if it's creative enough.
Ah, I like
it could
this,
be
yeah.
anything.
Yep.
Bullshit trivia.
So, without further ado,
show me what you got!
Question number 1. Name 3 famous birds.
Bert Blyleven.
Yes.
Bert from Bert and Ernie.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's a tough one. A third one. Burt Reynolds.
Oh, ding. All right.
Yeah, that was... I could picture his mustachio face.
I'm going to put a check mark. Question number 2. Who's better, Zangief or Blanca?
I was a big fan of Zangief.
Wrong. It's Sagat.
Ah,
see, trick
see
question.
what you did there, yeah.
Nope, no point for you there.
What about Dalzim?
What about Dalzim?
He's kind of the poor man's Sagat.
He's kind of like what people that are shitty at the game pick because they know they can hit you from 3/4 of the way across the screen.
Yeah.
Fuckers. Number 3. Ivanka Trump. Would you?
Yes.
It's a good answer. I would too.
Correct answer.
Even after the kids.
Yeah.
I'd still like to see her baby hatch. Number 4. Do you really want to hurt me?
If you're part of the culture club and you're singing this to me, yes.
Wrong. I would have accepted, do you really want to make me cry? I can't give you that one.
Okay.
Like I said, some of these, they're just way off base.
Not a big fan of Boy George back in the 80s, so...
Yeah, well, it's an
my
acquired
loss.
taste.
My loss.
Yeah. Number 5. True or false?
False.
Correct. You were waiting for me to say something, probably.
Just predominantly thinking there might be something additional there.
Number 6. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
That would be 1.5 faggots.
I wrote 2 chords, but because you used the word faggot, I'm going to give you a point.
Yes.
And because you used it correctly.
Yes.
Bryce is going to like this next one. Number 7. What is 27 divided by 3 times 3?
27. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Chisago Math.
I just want to point out that it could be 27 or 3.
Depending on if you had parentheses or how you divided up the multiplication. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
I did another one of those, and Bryce texted me out of the blue. He's like, yeah, there were 2 answers for that, by the way.
Right.
I was just like, fuck off.
Order of operations. It's,
Really?
Yeah.
God damn it. Number 8. That's my favorite question every time I do this. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
PBS?
No. Today's answer was Botswana.
I think I could have placed the flag on the map, if we were doing the final challenge in Carmen Sandiego.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 9. And it's ironic you said that other one. Define the word faggot.
Cord of wood, cigarette in Great Britain, and a dude on dude aficionado.
You pretty much hit the nail on the head there. You're doing very well.
Thank you.
I just want to point out that if you get this next one, you will be the all-time BS Trivia points record holder.
Fantastic.
Number 10. How many teeth does the average adult have?
32.
Oh my gosh, we've got ourselves a new BS Trivia record holder at 7 out of 10.
Right on.
That was good job, buddy. Good for you.
Some of those were blind luck.
Somewhat, yes. And I'm writing other Neil just because, I got to specify. Anyway, so take that, Dr. Marr, in your fucking face. Interact with the show on Twitter at Blumpkin Show. That is at Blumpkin Show. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Blumpkin&Friends. I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
This is Other Neil.
Good night.